Um, well, few questions, guys. Do you know what is the prevailing feeling of as many as 30% of passengers on board of any aircraft? Any ideas? The prevailing feeling is fear. And another question, what do you think do people who have feeling of fear? How do they react on this? Well, the reaction is avoidance. They try to get in contact with the object of their fear as less as possible. Yeah? So, what is the outcome of this avoidance? For airline, it's actually money. Airlines lose their customers because fear of flying. And then we are talking about 30%, that according to recent ICAO research, there are 40% people who feel different levels of fear of flying. So it's a lot of money. And do you think airlines do something to prevent that from happening? The answer is no, not really, let's say. So, oh, I forgot to introduce myself. It was intentionally, yeah? Okay. My name is Alex. I am treating people who suffer from fear of flying for 10 years. I did it 7,000 times in my life, worldwide. And I'm also a pilot and also psychologist, so I know a little bit about both airplanes and human health. So, I'm walking here through the venue, and I see a lot of interesting startups and companies and technologies, and people are talking about how they track luggage better, and how to improve duty-free sales on board, and how to expedite, whatever, and how to increase revenues. But actually, and it's amazing, nobody takes care about psychological comfort of passenger. We can talk a lot about seat back. We can talk a lot about legroom. We can talk a lot about in-flight entertainment system. But 30% of our passengers, they can't watch movies. Because when they see movie, they just see people who are moving on the screen and opening their mouth. They can't understand what is going on. Because for those people, 30%, they almost probably will die soon. We can't read books or watch movies. And the miracle is, I think it's a miracle that nobody in all the aviation industry took care about it. Almost nobody. That is not correct to say nobody, because, for example, Japan Airlines, they did some app that helps to distract attention from takeoff. Okay, professionally speaking, that's not the solution, because then we are distracting ourselves from something, so our brain concludes that this something is bad, equal to dangerous, because we are trying to distract ourselves. So, Virgin Atlantics, they are also very good, so they did an app that explains a little bit about how flying is safe. But that's it. Some airlines do courses on the ground, but for just 1% of fearful flyers will take this course. Just 1%. All the rest will say something like, it won't help me, it's not for me, and then they go and board the airplane and suffer, and then somebody suffer, he or she reduces the number of contacts with the feared object, with the airplane in our case, and fly less and less and less and less, and finally they most probably will stop flying at a specific day. Now, statistics shows that if the average segment numbers for average passengers 3.5 segments per year, so for a person who suffers from fear of flying, this is 1 segment per year. It means once in 2 years, the person takes flight to some place and back. Money, it's a lot of money. 30% of flying population multiple by 2.5 segments per year, it's a huge money. And let's talk about those people. So, like, luckily, lucky, technology today allows us to help them. And actually what we do, we take care of this technology and we manage today to improve well-being on board for thousands of people. And if you want to know more, you are invited for our booth, like right here, Sky Guru, so we can discuss in depth how we do that. But what I want to do, I want to put it in front of eyes of airlines first. You know, the day we've launched our project in the international market, next day, the vice president of one of biggest world airplane manufacturers called us personally. Like I said, guys, this is amazing that you did it because people need it. And then also IFE providers, in-flight entertainment system providers, came here especially to talk to us. But airlines, they are quiet. So I would like to invite especially airlines, maybe first time in their history, to take specific care, not just of physical well-being of their passengers, but also of their psychological comfort. Today, it is much easier than before, because the technology allows us actually to put virtual pilot sitting next to every anxious passenger and to support him during all the journey. So let's do that. Thank you for your attention. Someone have questions? Yeah, or no?
I think it should come to your booth.
Oh, great. Thank you.